boy, I can't wait to bomb some dodongos.
Bombs some dodongos,
Yeah.
some
Haven't
Congo
you ever
bongos.
bombed some dodongos?
No, but I have Donkey Kong Jungle Beated.
We are not going to panic.
What the heck even happened to you, man?
Vengeance.
Shrimp Daddy! Ha 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 ha!
Give him a hockey stick!
What am I, fucking magician, man?
Am I some kind of fucking magician, man?
Fucking nerd!
Whatever. It's not like we're professionals anyway.
And I'm not sorry anymore.
Time to bake brain.
Every day, yes.
What is the airwolf of trains?
Welcome back, listeners, to episode 35 of the Laser Comb Podcast. Podcast where we comb through fine-tooth lasers with classic television. I am one of your hosts. Well, the show that we're watching today certainly makes me feel like that. I am one of your hosts, NeoCal, and I am joined by the prestigious forklift certified Christopher
Yes.
Siege.
Yes, the youngest man alive. Also, this is episode 130, 135.
135. Did I just say 35?
You did.
It's got me all gobbledygooked.
It's got me bamboozled.
It's got me bamboozled.
Yeah, this is
I see
episode.
that, or at least one of the characters did.
This is episode 135 of the Laser Comb Podcast. Yeah, the show where we comb through random episodes of classic TV with a fine-tooth laser.
Or do we laser through classic combs with a fine-tooth television?
Well done. Perfect. Perfect. New tagline for the show. There we go. Right there.
136 onwards. So what we do is every single episode of this podcast, if you are not familiar with us, we cover a different TV show. Can't be reality TV, and it needs to be finished its run. Can't be game shows, that sort of thing. Documentaries. There are some things that kind of like toe the line, like mockumentaries we've kind of covered more than once.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of. But that's the show, and as long as it's off the air, or sorry, not off air, no longer running new episodes, we cover it. We've done everything from Manimal to Lexx, a lot of Patreon picks, but this month in particular is space shit.
You know, when would have been a good time to do a random recap of like what the shtick of the show is was the last episode, because I've seen the listener data and like the downloads, and that episode really fucking blew up. We doing Space Above and Beyond, which we covered last week on episode 134 of the Laser Comb Podcast.
Really?
That has gotten
Space Above and Beyond.
That is literally the most downloaded episode of the podcast to date in the span of a week.
Huh.
Apparently there is a fan base for Space Above and Beyond.
I am very surprised, and you know what?
Well deserved. Well deserved.
Siege and I, after airing last episode, because this is space theme month,
Space shit.
we were like, we went on a lot. We didn't summarize much. We lingered on each like scene a lot. It felt like a long episode or whatever, but like you could tell that we really liked it. I've never caught an episode of it before, and we really liked it. And our takeaway at the very end of each review is, hey, we pretend that we just caught this random episode, because most of the time they are random. And if we had randomly caught it on television, like in ye olden days,
In the channel
would we try to
days. Yeah.
would we tune in next week? And when it came to Space Above and Beyond, I feel like that was in our top five.
So the idea
135 episodes of this, and we liked that.
definitely. So the idea that when I came up with this podcast was essentially to kind of recreate the days of old when you would generally stumble across a TV show that you've never seen before through channel surfing, usually catching a rerun of it. And it would always invariably be a random episode, and that would be your exposure to it. So in this podcast, what I wanted to do was kind of recreate that by taking a show and just picking a random episode and watching that, like going in completely blind.
Yeah.
And seeing if it grabs you or not. Because that's how you would discover TV back in the day.
And sometimes one or both of us have seen said show.
Yep.
Sometimes neither of us have even heard of it.
As is the
And,
case with Patreon pick, legendary Patreon pick,
Don't
3 2
say
1
it.
Penguins.
That for you, that's the worst show we've seen, isn't it?
Yep. Legendary.
It's in the bottom 5 for me, but it was legendarily. I cannot believe a kids show pissed us off so much. Sometimes
3
we
2
get
1
heated.
3 2 1 Penguins is going to be mentioned in my epitaph one day. Mark my fucking words.
Take all of my worldly possessions, liquidate them, and put it into a fund to make sure that that show is buried.
Oh God. Yeah, anyway, so continuing on with our theme for the month of August, space shit. So far we've done Babylon 5, which we were positive, iffy to positive toward, and Space Above and Beyond, which we were both very, very high on. And this week we are covering a show that Cal has wanted to talk about for a long time, Lexx. Lexx the series.
I am the Lexx. I am the most powerful weapon of destruction in the 2 universes.
Lexx the series. For people wondering what the hell it is also known as Lexx, that's with 2 X's, the Dark Zone stories, and Tales from a Parallel Universe. It's a science fiction series created by Lexx Geigeroff and brothers Paul and Michael Donovan. It is a German-Canadian show, co-production, with additional funding from Channel 5 and the Sci-Fi Channel purchased the series from Salter Street Films and began airing episodes around to an American audience in 2000.
It ran from 1990. Well, it was on in Canada before that.
It was on in Canada and presumably Germany before that.
It ran from 1997 to 2000. 96 or 97 to 2002. This episode we landed on Bryzon, the penultimate episode of season 2, episode 19 overall, which originally aired on April 16th of 1999. Now, Cal, why the hell did you want to watch Lexx?
All right, so it's about people running away from their fate, so to speak.
Right.
We have Stanley Tweedle, who, if he looks like a janitor, you are correct, escaping I can't remember exactly. Maybe it was just Humdrum Life. It's been forever since I've seen the movie that this was like based on. But he ends up running away and stealing Lexx, which is this giant techno-organic firefly, spaceborne firefly. It's an organic spaceship.
It looks like a big giant firefly in space, but from the way the camera angle presents the ship a lot of the time, it looks like something else. And
Or even both things at times. If it seems phallic, but then also seems
it looks like a big old cock and balls in space.
Yeah. And sometimes, depending on the angle, it looks like other things too. So for whatever reason, it only listens to Stan, to
Yeah.
Tweedle. He starts off as a very cowardly, petty man. And we got 790, who is a robot who falls in love with the first person they see, which I think was
I actually read about
Zev?
this. I actually read
did you?
about this. Yeah, so I have some backstory.
I'm just going off my memory. Yeah.
I have some
That's
backstory
790, right?
about 790 and Zev.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Zev was a woman who was bred to essentially be like sold into the wife trade, essentially. She kind of bucked this, wasn't really interested in doing it, so she got fat and ugly because
Yep.
she gave
I remember
no,
that. I watched that intro.
she gave no fucks, so she got fat and ugly. And so they took her and put her through a process like genetic engineering and hypnosis process that was going to change her appearance to make her beautiful and was also going to brainwash her into falling madly in love with like whatever man she was sold to.
Yeah.
Now, she escaped after the beautification process had occurred.
But before the brainwashing.
But before the brainwashing,
I think Stanley stumbles upon
the
her and
robot
breaks the machine or something. I can't quite remember.
The robot 790,
Yeah.
robot head 790 was the robot that was supposed to stand guard. That was standing guard on her while she was going through all of this. She fights him and ends up pushing him into the machine. His head gets knocked off. He falls into the machine, so he gets brainwashed with the like falling in love formula. And her
Makes
being
sense since he's a robot.
I know, right? And her being the first thing that he sees, he falls madly in love with her, but
That's what happens.
but otherwise retains his very like asshole like robotic
I
like
hate
stormtrooper
790.
persona. No, I hate him too. So
I hate him so much.
on the show, he's very like not sweet, but he's very like outwardly affectionate to cringy
That is
levels.
the nicest way you could possibly have said that. Well
He is
done.
outwardly affectionate to
He's a
towards
cringy
Zev.
fucking simp.
Yeah, he's a simp. He's affectionate
It's
towards
so-
Zev, but he, as I said, he retains
He
his regular
hates
robot
Tweedle.
persona toward everyone else. So he's an absolute asshole to the other two characters on the ship, Stan and Kai.
He kind of ignores Kai or doesn't mind him, but he absolutely loathes Tweedle. And to be fair,
He is exceptionally jealous toward Kai. I actually ended up.
oh
reading up
no,
about
no,
the
you're
show.
right.
He's exceptionally
okay, so
jealous
he's
toward
very
Kai
jealous towards Kai because
Zev is into him.
is super into him.
Yeah.
Love triangle, as it were. They always say it's a love triangle, but it's not like Kai likes. What bugs me about the term love triangle is that it's
I know
not
where
an
you're going
actual
with this.
triangle.
I know where you're going with this, and it's the same thing that's always bothered me. See, to me,
Really?
an actual love triangle should be like a polycule.
Or it should be A loves B, but B doesn't love A. B loves C, but C doesn't love B, and C loves A, but
Or
A
that.
doesn't love C. An
Or that,
actual
yeah.
triangle shape that's like going in one direction.
But
or
what,
that, yeah.
what people usually refer to as a love triangle is usually girl likes two guys.
Oh, I thought it was girl likes A and B likes girl.
Or that, yeah.
Or that, yeah. Anyways, we got pet peeves about the triangle thing, but in this case, Robot loves Zev, Zev loves Kai. Kai is
Kai loves
okay.
no one
So
because he is incapable of doing so.
he is incapable of doing so, but he's not a Vulcan. He's dead. So he
Yeah.
died 2000, and it's a very peculiar number, like 2008 years before the series shows him.
I'm glad you brought up Vulcan because I don't know if you've watched Star Trek Strange New Worlds, but watching
No.
this show, Ethan Peck, the guy who plays Spock in like the modern
Right.
Trek shows,
Right?
holy fuck, he is channeling this performance.
Really?
Yes, he is not channeling Leonard Nimoy in the original Star Trek. He is channeling the performance of Kai from Lexx. That is
And this
what
is in Brave New Worlds?
Strange New Worlds, yeah.
Strange New Worlds.
By the way, Star Trek Strange New Worlds, quite good. If you're going to watch any modern Star Trek, watch that.
And so you think that he's definitely channeling Kai?
100%.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'm going to have to watch
He is playing
Strange
Spock.
New Worlds.
He is playing Spock like Kai.
Intriguing. Okay.
Yeah. If anyone agrees or disagrees, let me know in the comments.
Huh. So Kai, he seems to view things like favorably. He's logical, but he pushes away Zev because he's dead and he doesn't have like emotions, but like he's not a robot. So like he can still have like he still has like friendships with people, but like it seems kind of like the implication there is that love, well, and he definitely can't fuck because he can't like early on in this episode that we're covering, he says he can't do mouth to mouth because he can't breathe and push air out of his lungs. So presumably then he also couldn't physically be with somebody, like, you know, sexually, I mean. But like the implication is also that emotions are chemicals in our brains because he doesn't express a lot of emotions.
No, and
intriguing take on being dead.
Yeah, he can't feel love or emotion. He can't feel emotions whatsoever, based on the research that I did. He is just devoid of feeling.
Is that because he was, again, very edgy show? Is that because he was an assassin for so long? Or because he's like dead?
It's because he's dead.
So the implication there is that love are just like chemicals that some biological entities feel.
That's probably more thought than the writers of the show actually put into it, honestly.
Fair. I'm thinking about it too much. Yeah.
Let's have the hot girl give the old guy mouth to mouth.
My partner watched this with me, and she shared a very similar sentiment to what you just. And then the hot chick's gonna bend over, but her booba is gonna be in the shot. Also, terrible CPR. Holy shit, that is the worst. Like, no chest compressions, no like blocking the nose.
I actually know CPR and am first aid certified.
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Terrible. So
yeah, absolutely
the guy was just
this was literally just the writers being, as I said, let's get the hot chick to give the guy mouth to mouth.
A lot of the episode is let's get the hot chick to
blank. Yeah.
To blank. Yeah.
One thing I will say, that woman has astoundingly nice tits. Like, shocking. When I was watching, I was like, wow, that is like one of the nicest pair I've ever seen.
And the face, not. She's got the pouty lips and the.
She's got the face of like a '90s model.
Was
a
90s
model
when the
from
pouty
like
lips.
The 90s to 2000s is when the pouty lips was really in. Late 90s to late 90s to late 2000s. Here's the thing with decades that a lot of people I find don't really take into consideration. Nothing in a decade is unilateral. I find actually that the decade shifts happen around the middle of a decade.
Or going into it. Yeah.
Like what a lot of people like associate will be like, oh, that's so 80s was actually like 1992. Yeah, I personally find like the like token aspects of a particular like decade actually like more come to
Linger.
more come into form in like the middle of a decade and tend to linger into the early to mid of the next decade, and then the shift happens.
And then people just remember certain set things as a certain decade rather than,
Yeah.
yeah, like you said, there are lots of things attributed to like the 90s that are like early 2000s,
Yeah.
or attributed to the 80s, but they're early 90s.
Or like a lot of like 70s fashion is that like, or like a lot of like things people will attribute like fashion and whatnot to the 70s was actually like more
60s.
or no, actually I was going to say it
Or
was more
80s.
like early 80s.
Yeah. It's how our brains work. We just want things in clumps of 10, god damn it.
Right.
That's why, like, as soon as the 80s were over and it went into the 90s, everybody cut their goddamn hippie hair and
Yep.
went and got frosted tips. Like
Yep.
January 1st, 1990, frosted tips.
Yep.
Yeah, and then you never
that's how
saw
it works.
another guy with long hair until, unless it was dreadlocks, you never saw a guy with long hair in the 90s again.
Yeah.
I don't make the rules, it's the decade rules.
What I'm saying is 10 out of 10 boobies.
What 10 out of 10 booba.
Anyway, that being aside, I wanted to throw the caveat out there that yes, this woman is very gorgeous, but so much of the episode is centered around her very contrived reasons to get her to do like
Sexual
sexual
or
things,
innuendo or
to very disgusting
my
levels,
partner
to be perfectly
summed
honest.
this up well. So what they did is they raided a theater costume trunk,
Yeah.
and then they got 14-year-old writers to be like and like write a show that they could like soft core fap to.
This feels like it was written by teenagers. So as I was watching it, I was like, this show is not Star Wars, but like this show is Red Dwarf by way of David Cronenberg, Frank Zappa, and frat boy sensibilities.
Not even like, because frat boys like sports and camaraderie. That
Yeah, maybe not
it
frat
is
boy,
gooner
but
bait.
but definitely like written by juvenile, like very hypersexualized like young dudes.
There was this movement in like the 90s, even into the 80s. It's here or there, but I feel like Red Shoe Diaries, like Spicy City, like things that are like, ooh, this is for adults, look out. And in hindsight, all of those things, Tripping the Rift, all of those things are so fucking cringe
They are,
to go
but
back and watch.
here's the thing. You know why? And I've listened to podcasts where people have talked about this.
Oh, okay.
You know
Go
why
ahead.
like softcore like shows like Red Shoe Diaries and like the whole like Skinemax like movement of like the 90s. The reason why they were so popular was because pornography was not easily accessible. The reason that like softcore, that very like softcore, like
I did
for
have a ton of
adults
friends who stayed up.
TV that was big in like the late 80s to like late 90s, the reason why that died out is because porn became more readily accessible.
Due to internet access
Yeah.
becoming mainstream.
So
That makes so much sense.
because
yeah.
we have ready access to porn, we don't need to watch. We don't need to stay up until like 1 a.m. watching
to
Showcase.
see like 2 seconds of a boob.
Yeah,
Showcase specifically, yeah.
yeah.
Um,
The Canadian millennials know what I'm talking about.
right? And I'm pretty sure you see this chick's boobs, or at least other one of the episodes opens up with like, an orgy and like
The
naked people and
I looked this up. The first season with the original version of Zev, because they recast her in season 2.
They were like, we need somebody with more, how do you say it? Awoogas.
The original version of Zev in season 1 got naked a lot. This version of Zev, it was more implied nudity most of the time, although based on my research that I did, she showed her boobs a couple times, but it wasn't nearly as prevalent as it was in the first season.
So you're saying to check out season 1.
Yeah.
I see. Everything is shameless. So
also,
here's where
I was looking up the cast, and like the original version of Zev is not that much older than I am, honestly. And like that first season was like 1996, so like she would have been like, holy fuck, like barely legal when she was doing all these nudie scenes in the first season.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She's only, I think, like 47
she's got
now.
pouty lips too.
I think she's only like 47 or 48 now.
Huh.
But the actress who played the second version of Zev would have been, I think, around 30 at this time.
Imagine being like 18 and being replaced
with a 30-year-old.
With a 30-year-old.
That's the complete opposite of everything Hollywood has taught me.
That's the opposite of everything else, right? So I flip-flop. Like I think that there's two sides to how I feel about Lexx. Artistic, I understand the very heavy-handed, in this episode, complete lack of nuance. Presumably most episodes, the lack of nuance of sexuality, of assault, of what's it called when you when somebody like when you have no agency, because Kai is like triggered into like slave mode.
Subjugation,
right? The show exists a lot of extremes, like this at this point in the show. The light universe is almost, the galaxy they're in is almost completely destroyed, but we'll get into by what in a moment. And so part of me is like, I like that artistic shamelessness, like the shamelessness of a plot, like showing the audience how disgusting and cringy like men can be, like the Grand Vizier. I understand that like sexuality holds way more sway over humanity than it should. So like, I want to give it points for that.
I can appreciate that interpretation.
Yeah.
I would bet dollars to donuts that is not at all what the writers of this show had in mind when they were writing it.
But then it also feels like a 15-year-old writing the script being like, oh man, and then he's like so gross and disgusting, and he like empties his shit tube like in front of everybody, and then he gets like Zev to like he sucks her finger for some reason. Oh yeah, what else? And he like asks her to like strip down so that he can like penetrate her with his like liver needle. And then you're like, at what point is it just juvenile? So what I'm trying to say is it straddles the line between trying to be like artistic and like I said, it's a German co-production, and they're very free with their bodies at during this era.
They still are.
Are they still very
well? Yeah. I mean, if porn has taught me anything,
that's what I was implying. Yeah. But like
the two countries in the world that will give you the most wild pornography are Japan and Germany.
Oddly enough.
Yeah.
Even though Japan like censors most of, or sorry, it legally has to censor its porn, but it doesn't stop it from exporting it to elsewhere. Also, censorship is part of the allure.
Well, and things like well, and that censorship, because in Japan, like they have to blur genitalia.
Yeah.
Like that's the rule. So
Yeah.
that actually led porn directors into doing more creative and extreme things
That's right.
to be tittillating
There's a
without
reason
actually.
it's called bukkake.
Yeah.
It's invented in Japan.
Yeah.
You gotta prove that the the woman is very hot.
You know what they say? Necessity is the mother of all invention. So,
There you go.
from an artistic perspective, I actually have a lot of respect for Japanese pornography.
And talking
Something
about
I never thought I would
pornography
say out
isn't that
loud.
far off. And yet here we are. It's because we're watching Lexx, because this, way more than Red Shoe Diaries, is soft core and very blatant, not even allegories, very blatant placeholders for like sexual assault and
Well,
bodily autonomy
Red Shoe Diaries was horny in it, like kind of a sensual like kind of way. It was like all about
I
being
used to
like,
have friends that are like, oh man, like blah 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 stayed over last night and we watched like porn, and I was like, was Mulder in it? And they're like, oh yeah, did you watch like that too? I'm like, that's not porn. And they're like, no, it totally was. I'm like, sweet summer child.
let me take you out into the woods to find
I
a
can
stash of
show you the
magazine.
woods. I can show you my magazines. Pay no attention. Half the pages are missing. The other half are glued together. Why is that such a universal thing? Like, let me take you to the woods where I have a bunch of old magazines. Why
Finding
is that
porn
like
magazines in the woods? It's a thing. It's at 100%
It's
a
a
thing.
thing.
I literally, when I was a teenager, found porn magazines in the woods.
by a creek, underside a log? We found porn magazines in the woods. It what like this is fucking wild.
And
I went back for them and they were gone. And I always wondered which one of the friends came back and fucking stole them.
whatever, and honestly, like 14-year-old me was like saluting like whatever like middle-aged dude was like, I'm gonna leave these here so some people can discover themselves.
There must have been a league of extraordinary gentlemen out there who were like, done with these, I bequeath my treasure to whoever happen upon them next. Godspeed.
This shall today I will facilitate a boy becoming a man.
And I do this anonymously because the reward is greater than the recognition.
Also, I don't want to end up on a watch list.
Also that.
Anyway, so this episode of Lexx. So the episode opens with like old gross dude fleeing.
Old gross bishop vizier, by the bio vizier or whatever the fuck they call him.
Bio Vizier. That's what they call
He's got a
him,
big
yeah.
old hat. Yeah, and he's chilling around in his like mad scientist lab.
Yeah, where he's
There's
like,
a guy in an iron lung or something.
yeah, with a like sleep apnea mask.
Yeah,
And
somebody who's like being kept alive.
yeah, he has this like tube like hooked up to him, and he like pulls it out, and there's all this like gross like slime, and this is what I mean by like
Yellow.
Cronenberg. The show is kind of Cronenberg.
It's very Cronenbergy. All of the
very The
ships and
Fly.
all of the tech, all of the ships and all of the tech are all like organic. Like the spaceships are organic, and
the people who made this show really liked Cronenberg's The Fly remake.
right.
Like you can't convince me otherwise. And it was to a point where I found it quite repulsive because I actually don't like.
So did my.
I actually don't like that. I don't like.
They
goop,
linger
slime,
on the
grossness.
suction sound of tubes sucking up like slop. There's a lot of tubes sucking up bodily fluids in the episode. or food or gruel.
Yep, there sure is. And those kind of things, when you have a magician brain,
Mm-hmm.
like I do, and like your
My two
partner does,
closest friends. Yeah,
those kind of things don't appeal to magician brains. In
they
fact,
sure don't. Uh, yeah, she was like, this is a gross show.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then it just got worse.
it got worse.
It,
I don't want to be too harsh because, like, I know you like this show, like at least liked it back in the day,
or
but
liked.
liked. I found this show fucking repulsive.
It is gross. It plays on the artistic dichotomy of the body horror, in both how it can be extremely appealing, right, and extremely repulsive. Even though technically people are just people, we're just walking meat sacks.
Yeah.
That's my artistic takeaway. However, also, wouldn't it be funny if it went
That that take cost me $45,000 in student loan debt for a liberal arts degree. Yeehaw!
yeah.
No,
But
that is an interesting take. I will.
Yeah.
Kind of the duality of like how like body, like the human body, like you said, we're just walking meat sacks, but the human body can be both disgusting and sexy at the same time.
Oh, I see. So you find this stuff gross, but you still want to jizz all over this chick's everything.
I'm just like kind of bouncing off of what I felt the point that you were making, and maybe trying to give the show credit.
Yeah, and again, that's me possibly giving the show far too much credit than its creators ever intended. Maybe they just wanted to make like a 14-year-old. Gross stuff is funny, but also boobs. Maybe I'm overthinking it.
Gross stuff is really funny and cool, and also we're gonna get like a hot German model to like suck like an old guy's finger.
yeah. Boobies. Shut up, Beavis. I'm trying to maintain my chub.
I think I just figured something out, Beavis. This show sucks.
I think this show sucks. We didn't even see any naked titties. Yeah, this blows. So I think younger me stayed up waiting for nudity, and it never happening. Or it did happen that one time.
Or it only happened like once a season.
And then or once a season, and then that convinced me to keep trying to catch it on TV. So Grand Vizier guy, he's on a planet. He opens up a window, and there are a whole bunch of robot arms flying around.
There sure are.
He closes the window, but not before one almost tries to grab him. And he says, "Curse you, Martin." Let's call him Martin.
Mantrid.
Martin Mantrid. Curse you, Mantrid.
Martin Mantrid, MD.
Martin Mantrid, MD. And it's like,
take two
are we
of
supposed
these
to know?
and call me in the morning, honey.
This is just your hand. Exactly. So he says, "Curse you, Mantrid." He says, "Thank you" to the body in the iron lung as he rips out.
He pulls his plug out of the body, the person who's still alive in the iron lung with their sleep apnea mask, and he's like, "Thank you." It's so fucking gross.
It's creepy. Also,
yeah.
So what ends up happening?
I guess props to the show and the actor. Like this guy, he's clearly like he's supposed to be a creep, and he gave me the heebie-jeebies like right away.
That early. Yeah.
Yeah, right away. Just when just with his like creepy little thank you to his like
Thank you.
it was
So
disgusting.
kudos to the show for portraying leading up that this guy is not somebody to like. We find out
he flies off of the planet, and a bunch of these
he flies out in a bug spaceship, just like a shuttle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and an entire
and the planet is consumed by the hive mind that is devouring the galaxy, which is a whole bunch of
flying robot arms.
Flying robot arms.
Flying technorganic, like Borg, like almost like the Borg from Star Trek.
So a bunch of Borg, which are both like space, like air, space. They're spaceborne, and they can like go and like land on a planet.
Yeah,
and indeed
they fly
like,
around, and they're controlled by Mantrid. They call them drones in the episode.
Yeah, drones.
And so I'm like,
because it's like a hive mind thing.
Already, I'm like this planet is being consumed by a bunch of like flying like cyborg arms.
How?
Why?
Are they choking the trees? Are they like
already?
I'm going to drink all the water. So basically, it's a Grey Goose scenario where they make more of themselves, they consume resources, and they go out like a devouring swarm hive mind.
Sure. But already I'm like, was this written by a 15-year-old?
Why an arm?
Why?
Right? Like why not like little bugs? Because the show is like bug themed.
Because I fap with my arm, you see.
I'm gonna jerk off the whole galaxy.
Yeah, exactly.
So the Borg arms are like slowly destroying the planet as this guy flees on a space bug.
And over on the Lexx, we're introduced.
Over on the Lexx,
we're introduced to our heroes, Stanley.
I will say, I know my partner was making fun of it because she was like, "They look like they're all from a different show."
They do,
and that they all got their like costumes out of like the theater, like trunk.
Stanley looks like the janitor who was a last minute fill in because like the main guy like got food poisoning and threw up all over his costume. So they're like, quick, kudos. Who can we get? Oh, this.
Which kudos? He's supposed to be. He was a janitor.
Yeah. Who can we get to replace him? Oh, this guy over here. Okay, cool. That worked in Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Harrison Ford was literally, he was like he was a carpenter. He was one of the set builders.
I'm doing my Kai cosplay.
Oh, there you go. So yeah, we're introduced to our heroes. Stanley, the captain of the ship, the space janitor, Kai, the Vulcan who...
Undead assassin.
The Vulcan extra from the Cure music video. And,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, right.
Wow. Yeah, this guy loves The Cure. Like, if you think you're a fan, Kai's got you beat.
Yeah, he's the one Vulcan on the planet who really got into The Cure. The rest of the Vulcans like shun Earth culture, but this guy, the one thing he liked was he listened to the Crow soundtrack and he heard Burn by The Cure and he's like, this is now my life.
Yeah. And then he went and listened to Love Song and he was like, holy shit.
and then he listened to A Forest.
That's what sold him.
That's what sold. That's
how you know he's a true fan. Yeah.
That's what got him to like adopt the entire look.
Mm-hmm. So he didn't look like that already.
No. It was after discovering The Cure. We have Tits on Legs, Zev. That's a little reductive. I actually, it's quite reductive. I actually came to really like her character as the show went on.
You know what? That's how. Because you watched the show and you ended up liking her, right? and seems like you read into the lore a bit. There's something here.
There is something here. And I'll get into that more
Yeah.
toward the
As
end.
we-
But
Yeah.
despite the fact that I actually kind of hated this show, there was something there that actually got me to spend like an hour reading wiki pages about it afterward.
And
So that's not nothing, I will say.
It- yeah, that's not nothing. So it cuts to the characters, and right away, kudos to the show too. What you see is what you get. They're all using each other's names. They all play their archetype. You find out the robot's infatuated with Zev,
Yeah.
right? You find out Kai's undead, like pretty quick,
Yeah.
right? Like, and that he was an assassin. Like it does a good job of being like, oh, okay, and that they're a motley crew. Like it's not like they came and they all have a part on the ship. They all accidentally are kind of just here. They're
So-
all fugitives of some kind, or in the case of 790, stolen robot head.
Yeah, so to finish my character introductions, we have Zev, as I mentioned earlier, she was basically bred to be a wife, to be sold
Yeah.
in the wife trade. She was like, fuck that, escaped.
Oh yeah, they're slaves.
Yeah.
Like mass galactic slavery in the show.
And rounding out the core cast is 790, severed robot head, madly in love with Zev, hates everyone else.
But he has his uses. He can hack into things. He doesn't need to sleep, even though he does. He can be turned off, but then he comes back on whenever he wants. But he only listens to Zev, I believe.
Yeah, well, him being turned off, I didn't get the impression that was an actual, like, at first first time in the episode where Zev was like, oh, 790, deactivate, he would shut off. But, like, he kind of fights it later in the episode. So I don't think it's an actual, like, off switch per se, or like an actual command. I think she's just telling him to basically, like, shut the fuck up.
And it's very difficult for him to disobey her.
And because like the love, like,
He's willingly.
because the love conditioning has him like madly in love with her, he just listens to her.
Yeah, definitely. Kai tends to be the level-headed one, and at this point, I had said, I'm like, hey, like Stanley's actually kind of not of a bitch, and he's not that annoying. Because I remember like season 1 and stuff, and being like, man, Lexx has to listen to this guy. And she's like, he was more annoying, and I'm like, he's fine in this episode. Like he used to be he used to be like super cowardly, super petty, super jealous, super lustful, and he's just treating Zev and Kai like in 790 like people. Like does he though? You don't like Tweedle, huh?
I don't know. He's my favorite
to be
character.
fair,
on
he
the
is
show.
kind of
My favorite character on the show, with surprise, is the like goth, like stoic, like semi-autistic coded, logical guy.
He's my favorite. And
What a shock! What a shock, huh?
What a shock. I was like watching this, and
Guess
I'm
what?
like,
I also really like Data on Star Trek, and I tend to like Vulcan characters.
now we know who to cosplay.
Yeah, there you go. I'll dress up as a Vulcan, and you can be Kai.
Yeah, there we go.
Perfect.
And people will be like, who the fuck are you? And I'm like, don't worry about it.
I think people will recognize you, honestly. This show, from what
It
I've
has
seen,
a weird cult.
This show has a pretty big cult following.
It's weird. Yeah.
I
it
mentioned
does.
Lexx to a coworker last night, actually, and his face like lit up.
Really?
Yeah.
And you same coworkers that pretend they don't even remember Wish.
No, different coworkers, actually.
Oh, okay.
I have a new job, remember?
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah. So what's going on here? They quickly, again, the show does a decent job of catching anybody up without like monologuing. basically, Mantrid is consuming the galaxy.
Yep.
Not a lot that most people can do to like stop him. He has self-replicating drones. He's achieved semi-machine godhood of some
Yeah.
kind, and he's like,
Because he was a dude originally. We find out
Yep.
throughout the episode that he was like the apprentice of this guy, this bio vizier.
yeah,
What was his name?
yeah. We find that
Bryzon, the name of the
Ryzon,
episode.
yeah. They find out that they actually know each other quite well.
Yeah, so Mantrid was Bryzon's like apprentice at one point, and he was a dude originally, but he like put himself into this like computer that made him like omnipotent.
Mhm.
And what Bryzon wants to do is take Mantrid out of this computer and put himself into it because he wants to be like God of the universe.
We don't find that until a little
we don't
bit
find
later,
that out later.
but that's his goal. And my partner was like, "Oh, are we supposed to know who this guy is, or this feels like it's just introducing him?" I'm like, I have vibes that it's just introducing him now.
Definitely.
Ryzon?
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's a distress signal at one point because they say, "Hey, we need send out Lexx. Can you send out on all broadcastable frequencies the following message?" And then Tweedle gives this like heartfelt. He does a couple different speeches early on. One of them is like, "Hey, Mantrid, like." You like to play games, like come and show yourself and face us like man to man. Or are you afraid? Are you a big chicken?
Well, yeah, because they're wondering why. They're like, oh, why has Mantrid has destroyed most of like the known universe? Like, why hasn't he come for us? And Kai is like, oh, because he likes the game. He likes the thrill of the chase. If we
wants us to run.
If we want to face him directly, we're going to have to go to him. And so that's why Stanley is all like sends out like the distress call, like, hey, if anyone like
is out there and still
anyone
alive,
is out there is still alive, we're gonna go fight Mantrid together.
Together
Forever and ever to part.
He's so much different from in earlier seasons. So to see him so like actually like give a speech like that, I'm like, oh shit.
I got the impression
he is such a bitch in the first.
No, and he's even like just based on his body language when he's giving this speech, like I got the impression that he's just putting this on.
Oh, of course,
because he's like kind of
faking
looking
it till he
he's
makes
like
it. Yeah,
he's like shrugging and whatnot, like as he's giving the speech,
kind of like looking at Kai and Zev. Am I doing it right? Like,
exactly. Yeah.
And that's kudos to the actor, right? Because he's like selling that he's trying to call him. And their alternative is that they just watch the entire galaxy like get devoured and then they die anyway. So he's got nothing left to live.
And so
Bryzon
is flying around in his like space bug, and he picks up the transmission. He's like, oh, I can help you.
I can help you. Just take me on board.
Let me inside you.
Let me inside the Lexx. 790 at the very beginning, and then much later on, he says, "Don't let anyone on the Lexx." It's like, oh, it'll like be fine. Like, look, he's like barely alive because when they bring Bryzon, when they bring him on board the ship, he's seemingly non-responsive. Like he ran out of. We're gonna find out he's like very sick and he's like living off of other people's biofluids. Basically, that's what was happening back on his ship.
Here we get the like cringeworthy scene where it's like,
and 790 is like, how about you just kill him? So 790's fucking like at times he's a real one because he's like, Kai, just kill this guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, what a petty like little robot bitch. But then later on, I'm like, fuck. Okay, maybe they should have just killed this guy.
And here we get the scene where it's like, let's get the hot babe to give the man mouth to mouth.
Yeah, so Kai is like, he's non-responsive. We may need to give um, resuscitation mouth to mouth. And Tweedle's like, I'm out. And he walks out of the room. And
Fair.
Kai looks at Zev. And he's like, I do not have life to breathe from my lungs. So it falls on Zev. Zev actually cares about people. So it's hard for her to just be like, nah, fuck this. And she gives him mouth to mouth. The fakest looking CPR I've ever seen in my life.
Also, again, first aid certified. I know CPR. You never actually give anyone direct mouth to mouth. Usually you will use a mouth guard, which you will have in your first aid kit. Or if that's not available, you will open the person's mouth and just blow into it. You'll get close to their mouth, but you're not actually locking lips with them.
You need to create a seal. So just blowing in their mouth doesn't actually do anything, but you can cup your hands around their nose and mouth.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah.
To create a seal.
Exactly. But you're never actually like giving, like, you're not
actually really supposed to, but you like, if it's a loved one, like, yeah, go for it.
Right. Well, in my first aid class, I was told under absolutely no circumstances do you ever actually make direct mouth-to-mouth contact.
It's because they don't want any liability. They don't want any like contact or exchange of fluids. It's to protect you. And at our level of CPR, most times when you try to resuscitate people, like 98% of the time,
it's not going to work.
Ineffective. So it's just like, if you don't have your face mask, don't bother.
Yeah.
Is what a lot of them will like say, or create the like pinch their nose in their mouth and like try to,
yeah,
but don't actually like make any contact.
Yeah.
If it was my partner, I wouldn't care.
Well, of course. I mean,
yeah. But in this, in ye olden days, so, let me take you back to coming of age pervert movies from the 80s.
Okay, that's a statement right there.
What was that movie where there was like a bunch of young like teens, and one of them pretends to drown so that they can kiss the hot lifeguard, the older chick. What movie was this? I'm going in.
I don't know. That sounds like something out of Revenge of the Nerds.
Right? Movie where kid fake The Sandlot.
Oh, The Sandlot.
There we go.
I never liked that movie.
I don't remember. I just remember that scene from it.
I don't remember that scene. I remember the Beast, the dog that they were afraid of.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But CPR and then being like, "Oh boy, I got a kiss," or being like, "Oh, disgusting. Oh, it's a man," was like a big joke, and we see that here as well. So like maybe CPR, 90s as well.
Yeah, CPR like mouth. CPR mouth to mouth jokes were pretty common, I found, in comedies in like the 90s.
Even the 90s, yeah.
Yeah.
So we see that here. He ends up like trying to make out with her as he's revived, and he's like, "Oh boy, I like the taste of your flesh." And then they end up helping him up, even though he's being a creepy dude. And he's like, "Hey, I'm like Ryzen, and I can help you." And they're like, "Okay." And he's like, "But I'm gonna die."
I'm rising to the occasion.
And he's like, "But I will perish within the hour, should I not feed." So they take him, and by the way, you probably figured this out. The gruel that they eat is like nutrient-rich organic slur made by Lexx.
Uh,
So you know how birds kind of like puke up stuff for the
Yeah.
babies? That's what they have to do to eat on Lexx. So they're eating Lexx's
right.
nutrient-rich paste.
I didn't really think of that honestly.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and
Why they were just eating like green stuff?
I just assumed it was like kind of like a Matrix type thing with the like weird like porridge that they ate.
Oh, okay. Bless you.
Yeah,
Bless
well,
your
well,
innocent heart. No.
yeah,
Nope, they're
no,
eating Lexx goo.
they're eating shit.
No, they're eating vomit.
Much better.
Shit is most nutrients are gone.
Oh, that's
They're
true.
eating a
Yeah.
nutrient-rich paste, and Lexx tries her best to make it taste better. So kind of like you know how bees make honey.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually not bad. Like bees make honey, and it's kind of bee puke.
Mm.
So it ends up improving as the show goes on
Oh.
and tastes sweet. Yeah, there you go. The more you know about Lexx.
Well, I don't know about you, but I sure am hungry now.
I sure am hungry for some honey.
Oh, that's another thing. I was fucking eating when I started watching this show.
That'll teach you. Yeah, don't eat
I
when
just
you watch this show.
I just remembered that. I had gotten home from work and I just sat down with food in front of me and I'd started eating and I'm watching this show.
Don't eat when you watch the show,
No.
people.
In fact, don't watch the show.
So
Definitely eat though. Food is important.
yeah, definitely eat. But if you're a cool guy like me, you eat and watch the show with no problems. So I'm gonna yada yada some things quick.
Yeah,
Because
let's do that.
So the crew and the Lexx are like, hey, this guy said he can help us, and he said he can bring Kai back to life. Zev is horny for Kai the entire show,
Yeah.
like the entire like series. I mean,
I get it.
So she's like, you get it?
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, fair. And so he's like, wait. So you created like this series of like Kai and stuff, and like you can bring him back to life. And he's like, oh, it's difficult, but it's within my capabilities, of course. But we need to like defeat like this Mantrid thing, right? So they go out, and it's just Tweedle and Kai. Kai doesn't need a spacesuit because he's dead. So that's one of the advantages. He's often shown going out into space or not needing a spacesuit. Tweedle does, and they go out and they catch an arm. They like open a window and they wrestle one.
Other than the whole mind control thing, I don't know. Being dead doesn't sound so bad, at least in terms of this guy's situation.
He's got a cool grappling hook,
Yeah.
which we get to see later. So they catch an arm and they bring it back. And since Ryzon has all of the Ryzon,
Bry.
oh Bryzon,
Yeah.
Bryzon, Vizier guy, pervert man. He has all of the cards. When they wrestle the hand. Oh, and there's a shot where the hand grabs Tweedle by the neck because you have to stand to go into the command console of Lexx. It grabs him. It's funny. You can tell it's just somebody off screen with like the cyborg like arm because it's just reaching out and like grabbing him. Versus the arm when it's just a prop. They like hide the hand and they just kind of like wrestle with it. But like it was actually like a person's hand, like choking Tweedle. Anyways, they wrestle it down, and this is when Bryson says, "I have not much time to live. You need to like listen to me if you want me to stop Mantrid."
Yeah.
And it's like I need to insert something into you, Zev.
Well, first off, he's like Zev, I need you to do one thing for me.
Oh my god, I forgot about the finger thing. But yeah, he tricks Zev into like licking her finger somehow earlier.
That's not what I was getting at, but yeah, that scene's gross.
I need you to disrobe.
I need you to remove your garment for me.
That's what he says. Yeah, I need you to remove your garment.
Which I'm watching this episode
Okay,
and I'm
part
like,
of me was
yeah, I'm watching this episode and I'm like, that's creepy and gross, but also take it
but
off,
also
please.
and there's the dichotomy, right? We're like, this is disgusting, and this is like sexual assault, like
Sexist,
coded,
misogynistic,
and sexist and
rapey.
misogynistic and rapey.
But
Um,
but also I kind of want to see them titties, you know?
but we also know that they're just acting, and we can't kind of want to see them titties. And he's like, no, I insist. And 790 this whole time is like, see, Kai, I told you to like kill him. And Kai goes to like stop him. And he's like, he pulls out like a little pocket watch or like a programming thing or something. And points
It
it
ends
at
up
Kai.
coming up later because it ends
Yeah.
up being the thing that Mantrid wants.
That's right. Yeah. So this magic pocket watch reprogram thing,
The
he zaps
doohickey.
Kai with it. The doohickey. He zaps Kai with it, and he's like, Unit Kai 217 or something like that. He's like, I need you to kill these two here, but not just yet. I need them for things. So for now, restrain that one, pointing at Tweedle. And they're like, Kai, what the fuck? And he says, affirmative. And just goes over and he like grappling hook claws like Tweedle's neck to the chair. And then he's like, now, miss, you're going to get on the ground and I'm going to penetrate you with my device. And the innuendo is more than an innuendo. Like, it's the whole thing with this guy is just like sex slave bullshit for like a while.
He's literally
Because she has to
he
follow
spends
her.
most of the episode like linked up to her, literally like feeding off of her.
Feeding off of her. So he jams the thing into her abdomen and it starts like sucking fluid, like pancreatic or liver, I think specifically is said, fluids like from her to keep himself alive. And she's like, well, what if I just rip this out of you? Then you'll die. And he's like, oh, then Kai will kill you and we'll both be dead. Then I won't get what I want, though.
There, one thing I did like was later on,
And then he feeds her
in the episode. Yeah, in like he makes her eat in like this really sensual way.
and she like angrily like eats, and he's like, eat up now, because if you're well fed, that's better for me.
The more well fed you are, the more well fed I am. And she's like sensually like licking the spoon and like sucking
aggressively
on it,
biting
and like biting on it as
as the green goop.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable during the whole thing.
So,
one thing that I did like was while she was linked up to him at one point, she was like, "You're a monster." He's like, "No, my dear, I'm a parasite."
I'm a parasite, and you are my host.
Yeah. I actually kind of liked that line.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh yeah, I guess that's how they work.
Yeah.
And he's like, if I were younger or had a different body, would you desire? And here's the thing about her: she plays along. She's actually smarter than, I don't know if you got this, but she keeps her options opened while she waits for, like, she's good at keeping. She's a survivalist.
Yeah.
Right. And he's like, if I were to say, he's like, make no mistake, you are very alluring. And she's like, I am. And he's like, and I am disgusting.
Well, remember, like, they were originally, she was set to be brainwashed for the wife trade because she was too smart for her own good.
Right. And I had actually watched that. Yeah.
She was too smart and independent.
And he's like, tell me, if you could, though, like, would you want to be physical with me if I were able to? And she's like, why? She doesn't just go, oh, you're disgusting, like, fuck off, or like whatever. She's like, why? Probably using her feminine wiles to her advantage, looking for an opening. And he's like, oh, come on, everybody follow me into the next room. I said everybody. And what I think he's going to do
I like it when people watch.
is make Kai watch as Kai holds down Tweedle. Again, a lot of very fucked up. This guy basically has everyone at his.
He's basically trying to get a rape orgy going.
So he's going to do something to Tweedle, and he's like, I will enjoy this a lot, but this will be extremely painful. I think he's going to take Stanley's boner energy juices so that he can get a hard on and force himself on Zev. That's how I interpreted that.
I thought what he was going to do,
because he was leaning towards Tweedle's like crotch with this like spiky thing,
this fork type thing.
Yeah,
I thought what he was going to do was like link up his junk to Stanley's, so he could
get a boner.
So he could essentially like make Zev jerk Stanley off or something, or have sex with him, and he would feel the sensation.
But Tweedle wouldn't. He would just be in pain.
Yeah.
As you can see, we both thought very bad things.
Yeah.
That's as like Tweedle's held down by like Kai. Then we're interrupted by 790 yelling from the
bridge.
What the equivalent, I guess, is
for lack of a better word.
For lack of a better term, the brain stem window. The bridge. That hey, I found Mantrid's planet.
Yeah.
Because after he did the sucky and he took over Kai thing, he took his magical reprogramming device, held it to the hand, and zapped it. I skipped over this because whatever.
I was going to say, I don't think we
disables
actually
all the drones.
Yeah.
Like they go from like whizzing around in space to just like lifelessly like floating around.
Did we actually mention that they had captured one of the drone arms?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Remember they're like wrestling it around, and he's like, haha, you have to listen to me before I do this.
Right.
But so he did end up doing that.
I wrestled an arm once.
A Borg arm. A Mantrid arm. Manborg.
Fucking terrible movie, by the way.
When they get there, Tweedle's like, so, and a display pops up for Tweedle, because only it can only use its powers when Tweedle gives his like verbal and physical command. So other people can't force him theoretically.
So what you're saying, it can only Tweedle D, it cannot Tweedle dumb.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, it Tweedledums all the time.
I've been waiting for a while
You've been waiting for that.
I've been waiting for an opening to make that joke.
Bryzon even comments like, because it's like, Stanley, the drones outside are biting into my flesh. It hurts, Stanley. And Bryzon's like, oh, for such a great machine that, and apparently he designed it.
Apparently this guy did fucking everything in the universe.
Did everything in the fucking universe. Like literally, and he's just okay.
Which I don't necessarily believe. I think this guy is just kind of a charlatan, honestly.
I think he's a charlatan and he's full of shit and he's all about ego.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't want to just destroy Mantrid. He brings him up, and this is the first time we see Mantrid, who's just a bald white dude.
I laughed out loud when Mantrid
showed up
on screen.
When his hologram.
With the hologram of his face, like making all these like exaggerated, like stupid expressions with like the magic mushroom, like color swirl in the background
almost
behind him.
In a machine, almost like Max Headroom level of response. But not the stuttering. Yeah.
Well, and I felt like with this, they were kind of poking fun at like the floating head, like Star Trek villains in like the original series. And when they talk like this,
yeah.
Watch Star Trek the original series, like that's how a lot of the villains were in that show. I love Star Trek, but that original show is
It can be rough.
kind of a rough watch.
It can be rough
in the modern era.
in the modern era.
But anyway, Mantrid's floating
year
head.
of our Lord 2025. Mantrid's floating. So what
I
we
laughed
get
out
is
loud.
a confusing, very long diss battle between the two.
Yeah.
It's
Too
like
long.
5 minutes. It feels, maybe if it's not 5 minutes, it feels 5 minutes too long as they go, "You're just my apprentice. I'm the one that created this and I made you." And it's like,
I did think it was
you may
funny.
have been blah, 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 but I exceeded you in every way. And they shit talk each other for like 5 minutes. It's
I
very
did
weird.
laugh that it eventually just degrades into like petty insults back and forth.
It degrades into, you
You're-
stupid, like,
You're just a
robo
hot
head,
bag of wind. Or like,
and
just-
you're an idiot has been.
yeah, just like petty
Yeah.
insults.
It
I
just
thought
turns
that was
into
funny.
petty insults. And then it's like, all right, now get ready to destroy them. And then Mantrid goes, "Wait, we could come to a deal." And he's like, "Yes, grovel, Mantrid, grovel at my feet. There's one thing I need."
You're not in
you
front
to
of me
do.
to grovel at my feet. Zev, you do it.
So there's a part where he's like, "I need you to do something for me, dear. One last thing before I ascend." And I'm like, man, is he going to get her to suck his dick while he watches his like nemesis explode? Because he kept being like, "There's one thing, more thing I need from the crew here." And that's when the sex scene, the sex scene, no, nothing happens. Doesn't he leave and go with her in a fly?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
take his ship
Right.
over to Mantrid's like space station type thing.
So I think it's one of these shuttles, Lexx. Lexx has a whole bunch of little shuttles that
I thought it was just
Fly around.
Mantrid, or not Mantrid. I thought it was just Bryzon's ship that he arrived on.
Bryzon's is like green and blue. This one looked like a dragonfly, so I think
okay.
it was Lexus. Either way, they take a bug over there. The
Space
shuttles in
bugs.
this are bugs, yeah, space bugs, and they go over there,
don't
and
like
I'm
it.
like,
I don't like it.
it's not even techno-organic, it's just organic. It's very existence tech.
And he didn't like that. Not one bit.
And he didn't like that, not one bit. You see, my spaceship was a drinker
And a fly.
and a fly. Day, and then I go to the board where it's like days without referencing Dark Knight, and I scribble it out and write 0.
There we go. Yeah, we made a Dark Knight reference. Audience, take a drink.
Yeah. So they go over there, but the shuttles only fit 2 people, as we've seen. So it's just Zev and the Grand Vizier Bryzon.
Yeah.
And they go there assuming
Biovizier.
the Bio Vizier. They go over there and he's all like, "Oh, look at that, completely helpless, just a brain now."
Well, there's a comically fake looking like head, like severed head with like some like
Before we get
mechanical
into
stuff.
the comical fake looking head, I forgot. In the conversation in the fly as they're heading over, she
Oh,
turns
right.
to him, Zev, and says, "Can you actually bring Kai back to life? Or were you just like saying what we wanted to hear?"
And he was like, "No,
And
no,
maybe that's why she hasn't done anything to him. And he's like, "Of course not.
no, of course not. Look at me. I can barely keep myself alive."
I can barely keep myself alive." He like, no, there's no way to bring him back. He'll be dead forever.
I weirdly actually kind of liked this exchange between the two of them.
That's why I brought it up. I liked that exchange.
This
I
was
like,
probably
"Huh,
This was probably like the most like grounded and honestly like normal conversation in the entire fucking episode.
Yeah. And when they get there, he shit talk. They go into this like Dyson sphere thingy, and he shit talks what he thinks is just the robot head of Mandrake of Mantrid. But like you said, it's a comical like paper mache.
Yeah, literally, it looks like paper mache of like a ball.
But when he smashes
of, like,
it,
a bald,
it shatters
Borg
like
head. Yeah,
like a bald Borg head. When he shatters it because he gets angry and like punches it or something, it breaks like porcelain, like cheap porcelain or something like that. And then one of the drone hands is in there, and then it grabs him, and we hear Mantrid being like, ha, 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 "You stupid, cocky little bitch.
yeah.
This is exactly where I wanted you to be." And then another hand like grabs his arm, and he's like, "No, no!" And then Zev like rips the tube out of her, and she fucks off. Doesn't go after her, the hands, and she gets away in the fly.
Well, and the at first like the thing explodes, and we're not entirely sure that she's got like completely gotten away.
Right.
And 790 is on the bridge of the ship. He's like Zev, what's going on? What's happening? Zev,
Zev,
dun, 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 dun,
dun, dun, dun, dun, dun.
I just we mentioned.
Ah, shit. There's a Metal Gear reference.
I know. I threw that in intentionally.
Oh,
like we
okay.
already referenced The Dark Knight. I'm like, might as well like throw in Metal Gear.
Oh, please don't be dead, my sweet, sweet, delectable honey pot. And I'm like, maybe I'm misunderstanding the definition of honey pot. But in cybersecurity technique, where a system or resource is set up to mimic a real target, acting as bait to lure attackers. Uh-oh, they're coming for us.
No, I think he meant a literal honeypot.
But I think he meant a literal honey. Usually it's like a decoy system or something that enables.
That
and
would
in
not.
the case of a really hot woman, it's like somebody that like lures somebody into a trap that police are trying to bust. Because I've heard that used in that.
But think of that cybersecurity thing would not have existed in 1997.
Maybe there were a lot of hackers in the 90s. Things were easier to hack then
because there was a lack of cybersecurity.
Oh shit. But I've heard it used in terms of like, you know, like honeypot, like tricking like people into. Anyways,
let's see what Urban Dictionary says.
Yeah, let's see what Urban Dictionary. The best place to look up things.
Absolutely, I love Urban Dictionary.
It does mean one that is attractive or desirable. In the Merriam-Webster. Huh. Okay, all right.
A slang term in the lesbian community for female genitalia.
Oh. Well, there you go. He was just calling her hot vag,
here we go. Honey potting.
Honey potting.
A person uses things that you either enjoy or arouse you to make you do what they want.
I was thinking of the term honey potting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, calling someone a honeypot I would imagine could be used to refer to someone who is honeypotting. Yeah,
that's what I had thought.
Yeah, there we go. That makes a lot more sense than the cybersecurity thing.
Right? Yeah.
But honestly,
I've seen that in movie or whatever, and like it would be like femme fatale. I think like Black Widow was like referred to as a honeypot in like one of the movies, and I was like, wait a second.
Probably in Iron Man 2. Early on when they were like really like early on in the MCU when they were really like trying to sex up Black Widow. which
Mhm.
kind of fell away, and she became much more of a like developed and rounded character as time goes
Yeah.
on.
So
Thankfully,
what ends up happening is Bryzon's like dying, and when it's just the other three, Kai, Tweedle, and 790 on the bridge, Kai like snaps out of it because we see that his magical doohickey was broken when he was being attacked by
it was
the
intentionally
drones.
broken. One of the drone hands smashed it.
Like smashes it. So now he can't like be controlled, I guess.
I can't.
And
I can't remember
he,
why, but like Mantrid wanted it destroyed for some reason.
Yeah, I guess it was the only one of the only devices that could like control him or reprogram him or stop him.
Here is my command. You must destroy the Autobot matrix of leadership.
Basically,
It is the one thing, the only thing that can stand in my way.
And well, one of the things I skipped over, and you said you had liked this conversation in the fly when those two were going over to Mantrid's base. She also is like, well, what are you going to do when you get there? And his monologue also leads into Mantrid's base. He says that, oh, well, you see, like, I'm going to connect myself to the machine planet,
Yeah.
and then I'll have all of this power. But I'm not going to use it to destroy. I'm going to use it to rebuild. And he's like, so you're going to become his shadow, which was like, you know, the grand, like we worship her shadow. Like it was like this grand, like entity, like the emperor and of mankind and like Warhammer 40K. And
Or
he's
just
like,
God. God.
and he's like, no, not like I'm not going to become his shadow. No, much greater. I will become God. And so it's like, oh, okay. And I guess Mantrid wants to destroy everything, but this guy wants to be like worshipped. And of course, he's like petty and selfish and
wants to remake everything in his own image. But honestly, despite how like fucking disgusting and gross this guy is, I kind of feel like someone who wants to like build the universe as opposed to destroy it is inherently a better option.
yeah.
No matter how shitty the guy is.
Yeah. So when everyone's back on the bridge, they're like, holy shit, Kai, you're back. You're actually like you? Yes. And Zev is back, and she's like, blow that motherfucker up. Lexx powers up and goes to send out this like horizontal beam that can like destroy entire planetary systems and suns. But
I know, it's like the shittiest doomsday weapon looking. It's like the shittiest doomsday.
I think it's cool.
Shittiest looking doomsday weapon I've ever seen.
I think it's cool, but the drones dodge it earlier because they go whoop and they just go up and down and then they like come back together and
they
they're
go like this. Whoop!
Whoop, because it's a horizontal beam.
Yeah,
they just go up.
Each raising, every single drone raising
every single drone
as they separate.
And then they dodge it and then they like come back together in like a swarm. And Tweedle's like, huh, like that's never happened before. So they go to attack it, and the station is not actually a station; it's an illusion.
It was a ruse, I guess, which doesn't really make sense because
how are they on it?
Yeah, Zev and Bryzon landed on it, and Bryzon was like killed.
Look at that. Or it was made of the drones.
I was gonna say maybe it wasn't like an illusion
like
or like
nano?
a hologram or anything like that, but it was a construct like made by like all the drones like linking together.
I think it was like a construct, and then it like reforms and looks like mist, and it reforms to look like Mantrid's head. And they were like, "Shit, this was a decoy. This isn't actually his planet."
Yeah.
Of course not. Like he's not that dumb, and he's all like, "Haha, fuck you guys." And I don't know what he says. Do you remember? He says a bunch of shit.
No, but he gives like a big like villain monologue where he confirms what Kai had said at the beginning of the episode. The reason that he hasn't killed them yet is because like he wants them to run. He wants them to be like the last things in the known universe that he kills. And Kai in particular, he wants to be the last one to
He
die.
wants Kai to see the galaxy, the universe, and then like his friends like all die.
Because
before him.
apparently Kai had tried to assassinate him at one point before he linked up with this computer when he was still a mortal dude. And so he's really holding a grudge.
So to summarize, before we move on to the final question,
Yeah.
it feels like both of us think there's some shit going on. Like there's something to this show. Like the plot, the greater plot itself. It's kind of how I feel about Halo. I don't think any of the great games are great, but I think the story is.
I don't get into the I'm the opposite. I love the gameplay of Halo. I don't get into the story all that much.
Oh.
Before we get into asking the ultimate question that we ask on this podcast week in and week out, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, Cal is going to ask me that question.
All is quiet. Or is it? The North American house hippo is found throughout Canada and the eastern United States. House hippos are very timid creatures and are rarely seen, but they will defend their territory if provoked. They come out at night to search for food, water, and materials for their nests. The favorite foods of the house hippo are chips, raisins, and the crumbs from peanut butter on toast. They build their nests in bedroom closets, using lost mittens, dryer lint, and bits of string. The nests have to be very soft and warm. House hippos sleep about 16 hours a day.
That looked really real, but you knew it couldn't be true, didn't you? That's why it's good to think about what you're watching on TV and ask questions, kind of like you just did.
All right, and we're back.
So, actually, instead of getting your final thoughts about it, I'll ask you about it, and then we'll get into our final thoughts. Here on the show, at the very end, we say, would you tune in next week? So the random episode we caught, was it good enough where we're going to go, or interesting enough where we would go, I'm gonna see what the next episode is. So Siege, you just caught a random episode of Lexx. Would you tune in next week?
Oh, let's see. There were dem titties, and I feel like the show was really digging into some themes about like the inherent duality of like the beauty and disgustingness of the human body. So it's really good. No, I'm not tuning in next week. I fucking hated this show.
Well, you didn't like all the times the Grand Vizier like emptied out his like catheter bile in front of everyone?
Hated this show. Well, I had a very visceral and probably magician brain based. I had a very visceral reaction to a lot of the like body horror stuff, and like a lot of the grossness was just very repulsive to me and makes me not ever want to watch this show ever again.
Yeah, fair.
But also dem titties. But here's the thing, and I mentioned this earlier.
Yeah, you said you had like kind of looked into things for like
I spent about an hour after I watched the episode actually reading up about the show and trying to like understand like the plot a lot more. That's not nothing.
No, I'm actually surprised. You never do that.
Not never, but I don't always do that.
Or at least not for that extent.
I was intrigued enough by the plot to want to understand what's going on. So I'm kind of torn on this because I was kind of interested in some aspects of it, but also the gross body horror and also like the misogyny and like the very like contrived ways to make the hot chick do sexual things. That again makes it feel like it was written by a 15-year-old.
It's one of those things where it might be a better to read the Lexx wiki.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like the greater plot of something sometimes is better than the source.
Here's what I will say. No, I'm not tuning in again, but I am glad that I watched it.
Oh, interesting. You're glad that you watched it, but you're definitely not tuning in
Yeah,
again.
I'm not going to watch it
Yeah.
again, but I'm glad I saw it.
All right. I'm not glad I saw it, but maybe I will tune in next. So there's like a weird fascination I have where I'm like, how the fuck are there this many seasons? Like, how did this get past a pilot? Like, there's almost a fascination with the gross. Like, what the fuck are they? What else? Like, what is this greater thing? I really like the dark zone and they live in the light dimension. You and I are from like canonically, I think Earth is in like the dark dimension or the dark universe.
100%. Yeah, when the Mayan calendar ended in 2012, the that was when the multiversal split happened.
Yeah. And well, at least we're not in the light dimension where Earth was devoured by cyborg hands.
That's true. That would be a lot worse.
That's right. Although everything would have been else would have been better.
Yeah.
So I guess it depends on what year of our Lord that this would have taken place. Oh, I guess the universe would have ended in the early 2000s, late 90s, which I'd be okay with. No. I like the world building and the characters and not the show.
Yeah.
Like 80% of this episode is like this rapey guy. I should have done a disclaimer in the intro being like, hey, like this show has like very like adult themes and we may use like verbiage, but if you're watching a review of the Lexx and you don't know what the Lexx is, anyways,
Well, I didn't know a ton about Lexx before watching it. So
yeah, that's fair. And I didn't give you a disclaimer.
Which is fine. I generally don't need one. I'm fine with just going into things like raw and reacting accordingly.
Raw and wriggling. I'm interested in the universe and the world and the characters. I find Zev interesting. I know enough that if you're watching this, you're fine with like spoilers. I know that this is
I mean, you kind of have to be.
you have to be with this show. I know this is a clone of Zev. Same character, same memories, but the way they explain the first actress versus this is it's a clone.
Yeah.
I haven't read the wiki. I can't remember the exact processes that led up to it, but I know that she's a clone. I like the progression of like Kai. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and it's like oddly, grossly fascinating. Let me stop yappering and just give I would tune in next week for the possibility of seeing if it has any more to answer to offer, or for dem titties. So it's split between us. One of us will, and one of us won't.
How many?
And one of us is glad that we watched it, and one of us isn't.
And weirdly enough, not the same person feeling the.
You guys just landed on a bad episode. I can't even say that.
This is just the show.
I think most of the episodes are about sexualizing Zev and gross shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe not.
They fly around in a space bug that looks like a giant flying dick and balls. Like that's just the show.
My partner 10 seconds in was like, so that looks like balls and a dick, right? And I'm like, it's a dragonfly. God. But yes, and also its mouth looks vaginal. And all of the room openings look vaginal. And his windows look vaginal. What's the point?
What are you trying to say?
What are you trying to say?
Maybe that's just on you for seeing a dick and balls and a vagina. Okay,
maybe every time I sensually eat a banana, that's on you.
Too much.
Maybe every time I eat a banana in one single bite. If it's sexual, that's on you.
Maybe if every time I deep throat a big throbbing dick and you get hard over it, that's on you, buddy.
That's on you. Maybe every time you watch gay sex, That's on you.
Anyway,
I don't even know who you is anymore at this point. The viewer, Lex, people
you,
watching the Lex, you
You.
specifically listening to this.
Derek.
Oh shit.
That's
It's
right.
Derek. You, Jared.
And Kyle. That's right. I called you out, Kyle.
That's right.
We know what you're watching.
So yeah,
that's
that
okay.
was Lex, everybody.
That was episode 135 of the Lasercomb podcast. If you want to support the show, go to patreon.com/lasercomb, LAZORCOMB. Starting at the $5 tier, you get our bonus weekly Patreon exclusive show, the Cal and Siege Super Show. We just recorded an episode of that where Cal talks about how he calzone paunched someone.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah, $5 tier. At the $10 tier, you get that. You get the occasional commentary track, which we should really do another one of those soon. I think it's probably been about a year since we did the last one. And not only that, you get to pick a show for us to review a random episode of on this very podcast. So if you want to get in on that, go to patreon.com/lasercomb.
You can make us watch Canadian, German productions that no one's heard of, that have a huge cult following, that is mostly about sex.
There's also a $20 tier, which if you're subscribed to for 3 months, you get a Lasercomb t-shirt. You also get our a big old pack of our bonus old preamble audio archives. And sometimes you can pick the theme, the monthly theme of the podcast. Like this month is space shit. I have an idea for next month's theme, which is also a Patreon pick. I'll run it by you when we're off air.
Penguin stuff.
Perhaps involving
Hanna-Barbera.
Perhaps involving numbers counting down.
Definitely not.
The entire 321 Penguins cinematic universe. Anyway, if you want to get in on all of that, go to patreon.com/lasercomb. If you want to interact with us, join the Discord. There is a link in the description. I mentioned Lasercomb t-shirts. Go to the TeePublic store. There's a link for that in the description as well. We're going to be back next week with the final installment of Space Shit. At least round 1 of Space Shit. Anyway, we'll probably come back to this theme at some point.
Oh, yeah.
There's
enough shows.
There's a lot of space out there.
It's a lot of space. Some say it's mostly space.
Some say space is infinite. Some say space will outlive this podcast and us.
Some say space is the final frontier.
Some say there's space between us.
Oh, shit.
Anyway, the final installment of this round of Space Shit is one of my picks, and we're going out with a bang here. So far, Space Shit has been really interesting. I think one of our more interesting themes that we've done so far. Mm-hmm. So kudos to you, Cal, because that was your pick. The theme was your pick.
That's right.
But we're gonna round out Space Shit with the Titan itself, Battlestar,
the myth, the legend,
Battlestar Galactica, not the original show.
Oh, not the OG.
Not the 70s.
Probably be boring.
It has its merits, but it's definitely dated. But yeah, we're going to be talking about the 2000s Battlestar Galactica remake series, which was created by Ronald D. Moore of Star Trek fame. He was one of the head writers for a few seasons on Star Trek: The Next Generation and Star Trek: Deep Space Nine. He also wrote the screenplay for Star Trek: First Contact, my favorite Star Trek movie.
Oh, shit.
At least my favorite Next Generation Star Trek movie. Anyway, so to find out what episode of Battlestar Galactica we're going to watch, I'm going to hit screen share and go to the old trusty random number generator. And here we are. So Battlestar Galactica, the 2000s series, had 76 episodes overall, but that includes the 2-episode miniseries, which I'm going to include in the episode count.
Really?
Because they're quite integral.
Okay.
To the show. So 78 episodes overall. One random number between 1 and 78. And I'm almost tempted to be like, let's fucking break the random rule and just watch the first episode of the miniseries, but But
How dare?
in the spirit of the podcraft, we'll keep going with the randomness. Hopefully, it's an early episode
My
because
partner really likes this show.
it's fucking great.
Oh, I saw one pop up.
58. What is that? That is a season 4 episode. No, I don't
No?
think we should go into it that late. No. I'm gonna re-roll.
Okay, we're re-rolling.
I'm gonna re-roll until we get to at least a season 2 episode. Here we go. Rolling again. 73. That's even closer to the end. So rolling again. Third time's a charm. Big money, no whammies. 72. 32. There we go. Fourth time was the charm. 32.
That's in one of the first 3. Oh, is it second season?
That is it's a 2-parter. God damn it.
No, we know the rules.
No 2-parters. Here we go. Once again, rolling for a 5th time. 5th time's the roll. 56.
Is that?
That's also a season. What the fuck is with the random number generator today?
Doesn't feel random, but that's part of the randomness.
19. There we go. This has got to be it. This has got to be the one. 19 is also a 2-parter. I shit you not.
What?
It is Home Part 1. Okay.
How many episodes are in the first 3 seasons?
How many episodes are
Let
in
me
the
help
first?
you out. Let me help you out here.
53.
How about between 1 and 53?
33.
Okay.
33 is part 2 of a 2-parter. It's
Mother
not making
of
it
God.
easy for us.
It's
15.
really not. Oh, 15?
15, the second episode of season 2, Valley of Darkness. There we go.
The second episode of season 2?
Second episode of season 2, yeah. Jesus Christ, I lost count of how many rolls that even was, but
Totally random, folks.
yeah, totally.
No
random.
no rules. Don't worry about it.
I should have just.
We're allowed to.
We should have just picked the fucking episode, but there we go. Season 2, episode 2, Valley of Darkness. We'll be back next week with that. And until then, I have been one of your hosts, the youngest man alive, Christopher Siege.
And I'm the oldest boy alive, NeoCal.
Thanks for listening. We will bio-vizier you next time.
We'll Lex you next time. We'll have raw, hardcore Lex. Space Lex, if you will.
We'll have some Lexi times.
Some Lexi times.
Dem titties.
Ever tell you about the vampire couch set that we almost got?
Vampire couch set.
We call it the vampire. So there was this marked down leather set. It was dark oak, and it was like a
leather furniture.
And it was a dark red, like leather, like a brownish, like blackish red. Right, it just had like very gothic vibes. But if you got like the couch, the love seat, and the like the single like seat, then it was like 20% off, and it was already marked down. And we were like, these couches are already like 500 like plus. We could get all of this for like, including like delivery, for like less than 1,000. Like, this is damn. And we really wanted it, and it was like, okay, wait. And we haggled with the lady and got like free delivery and all of these things, and it was like, and we set it up and everything, and I'm like, I need to make some measurements. And they measured the widest place in my old place when I was on like the gorge there.
Yeah.
And it just didn't seem like, no matter what angle, because we measured all the furniture, we spent like all day like trying to figure it out. And we made all the measurements there, and then like, and Anissa was smart, and we brought like a measuring a tape measure with us.
Yeah.
So we didn't have to make like multiple trips. And it was like, shit, it's not going to be able to fit. And then we had to call and cancel, and the lady was like so disappointed. It was this like older saleswoman, and she was like already kind of like making, like yielding certain like things. It's like, oh, how about you give us the free warranty? And oh, how about you like do this? And then we just like called to be like, oh, sorry, won't fit.
That's a shame.
And we always think back and we call it like the vampire couch set. And it was like, imagine how cool we would be and how much more we'd have our lives together if we had to like, like dress like Victorian like goths and like come and like entertain guests and be like, yes, you can have a seat at the vampire. Whole lives would have been different if we had that couch set.